baby eider, and we thought that we would film a video for you guys how we get our winter handmade clothes ready for the extreme cold. Oh. Alright, so we just use any oil we have. We have a lot of olive oil right now. We're going to use olive oil. I found it really actually doesn't matter what oil you use, it just needs a lot. Alright, well I'm probably going to start with the little guys' parkas first because they are smaller and easier to do. We'll start with Ohms. They're all pretty brittle from being hung up all summer. Yes, that's yours. You can see it. You can touch it. So the brain tan parkas, they need like a lot of oil to remain supple, and it helps preserve them so they don't get, when you wear them, so they don't get so like dried out and brittle, because then it's prone to tearing. You want it to be really oiled. It doesn't really, I personally don't think it actually makes us super greasy, but maybe it does. I'm not sure. It definitely feels a lot better to get into a really greased up skin parka than a real dry, stiff one. This is going to take a lot. I don't really like to just pour it all over the hide because then it gets like too much in one place. It's also not super great because that would make you greasy, I think. Turn his little sleeve. It's also a great time for me to check if there's any repairs that need done before it just dips into the extreme cold and somebody's got a big old hole in their parka that I don't know about. You can see his sleeve has been repaired many times. There's a whole ripped seam here, ripped seam here. I had to add a gusset because he started growing. Okay, well, he hasn't stopped growing, but he really escalated in growing last winter. Omi did. We like to put our kids all in pretty much strictly brain tan, especially the babies, because they, you know, they do what babies do. They're sucking on it, they're crying on it, they're drooling, and it's just a lot safer in general for babies to have like a super non-toxic hide, just because we don't really know what kind of chemicals they're ingesting otherwise. Over, put a little bit on the hair side. You'll see when I do this hair what I mean about the caribou shedding. And Omi's parka was actually his moss bag through his first winter. So it's, what, like 2 years old now? And you can see the shedding. I also thought I'd mention, you can see that these sleeves are mismatched just because we don't really, I'm not going to waste a hide just because we may not have the right color. Like when a child needs a fur coat, they need a fur coat. So we definitely pieced together the sleeves on this, just like similarly to how you'd piece together something. Like it takes a lot more fur to match all of the fur up so it looks like there's no seam, versus having something that's practical where maybe you can see the seam, but the person is warm, and that's really all that matters out here.
I believe there's a difference between like survival fur clothing and
this is survival fur. This is not high fashion. Nubby's is very dry. Also needs a repair. I can see right away the armpit is ripped out. This is actually the first parka I've ever made in my entire life. And instead of joining the sleeves on the way I should have, which is straight out, I joined them at an angle. It's just kind of like a thing that happens as you make more things. You realize that, oh, maybe that wasn't the best design, or that was really bad design, or like we would learn what works. Especially with a child wearing it, you learn real quick what works and what does not work. What was funny, when we first made this parka for Nubby, we had made it like at the end of summer. And we put it on him and the hide was still kind of stiff and he could hardly move. Well, it's kind of nice actually, because then in the winter when it's cold, he's not running around like getting snow in him because he can hardly move. So he just sits around in his parka mostly. Back up, sweetie. Oh, it's so dry. Oh my goodness. Oh, it looks just like you. I'm doing great. How are you doing? just hanging out?
Walk around.
You want to walk around?
Yeah.
Okay.
In the house.
Yeah, that's fine. Come on out. Nubby's Parka's actually shedding really bad. He's due for a new one soon. So this is terrible. This is really bad. If I were to turn it inside out, everyone would be covered for days and it would be in our food and everything. So I'm not going to do that. Let's finish his. We'll do the baby's moss bag next.
Do eiters?
Yeah, eiters. No, it's crazy how much they grow. Because originally this bottom section was his moss bag and we needed to fold it in half to fit him in. And then he grew and I attached a sheep. It's our sheep domino tandem. We attached him to the top just to kind of extend it. I have since made a cradle board to strap this whole thing to.
Oh.
I'll show you that too before we finish.
Look, heap.
Oh, that's a lamb hide. Here, go put it up.
The heat is huge.
Huge, yeah. So with the baby bags, usually like this is tanned really well. This is crazy soft. This beaver brain tanned, everything's brain tanned, but the sheep is not nearly as soft, and we actually like a more stiff hide for the moss bag so the baby can't like crumple, let's say. It gives them a little more structural integrity in the winter. And even that said, he'll still be in a snowsuit inside this, like a down snowsuit, and fur booties also, probably a fur hat too, depending what we're doing, but like at a certain point, you can't really not have clothes like this for your children. Like if we run out of wood, everyone is just immediately in their Parkas until we can figure out the problem. I'll do my Parka next. This one's probably going to be the driest because it was right next to the wood stove. As you can see with my Parka, most of it is brain tanned, but we had to do some repairs and some adjustments when I was pregnant. So some of it's not brain tanned. The difference that I've noticed between the caribou and the reindeer hides is the caribou hair is shorter and it looks like it's a lot denser, like along this. We've seen reindeer hides that can be like this long and the hair is a lot finer. This is really shedding. But this is shorter and I think it's more prone to breakage, but these Parkas are very warm. And all these little hairs that are so prone to breakage are worth their weight in gold just because those hollow, brittle hairs are such good insulators that the inside of the hair is what actually traps the heat and makes these Parkas insane warm.
So when I'm wearing my parka, I'll start wearing mine when it's about -20, but I only wear a one light down jacket underneath it just in case I need to take it off or whatever. But even just one very light down jacket in my parka, I'm like burning up if I start trying to do anything. If I rip my chainsaw 3 times, I'm like burning up immediately. Suddenly I'm like feeling like I'm about to have a heat stroke and I'm like sublimating.
Get Chance's Parka down now.
I'm a little rough on my parka.
Yeah, I would say Chance is probably the roughest on his just because he's out there like actually working. So these Parkas, when I made them, I did a lot of research preemptively to try and figure out like a design that was going to work for him because we didn't have a lot of fur that we could waste and I didn't have a lot of experience making Parkas, so I needed other people's experience to factor into my own. So we watched a lot of like 1920s, 1930s videos of like the northern people here in Alaska and the northern people in Greenland. And I noticed that they were mostly hunting on the sea ice. And Chance is not going to be sitting out perfectly stationary for 8 to 15 hours at a time hunting seals. So their 3 or 4 fur boot system and their 4 Parkas seemed like a little bit of overkill and wasn't really going to be the best option for us. So upon more research, I was researching a lot into the Nanette people in Siberia, and they are very active because they're reindeer herders, so they're basically out there working with their reindeer all day long and moving around a lot, like in a similar way to what Chance would be doing, like lassoing and lifting their arms a lot to, I guess, work the reindeer. So it only felt right to base it off of that, but with our own unique flair It's a bit of a luxury item, let's say, because it's actually 6 brain-tanned beavers, which was, there was no easy feat to tan that many beavers. But his whole inside of his hood is actually beaver fur. So it's like being snuggled by a beaver. I'm probably not going to actually flip his parka because it's so dry.
I'm dying too.
I did. I already oiled yours.
Oh.
I oiled the inside of it. I didn't flip yours though because it's shedding terribly. All right. So Chance's parka is done being oiled. It's ready to get some repairs and then it'll be perfect for the trap line. That's how we get all our fur clothing ready for the extreme cold up here in Alaska. Thank you for watching.